Hey, Hollywood! Yeah, you. I know you're watching. Can we please get some more movies like this? I'd really like to see that. But I don't feel like everybody's gonna agree with me on that because this is definitely a movie that you either absolutely love or probably intensely hate. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick and this is my review of A Cure for Wellness. So the first thing that I really want to say about this movie is that it felt like it had one very clear vision. This didn't feel like a big studio film, it didn't feel like it was super Hollywoodized, and it didn't feel like something that we've seen like a billion times before. And to really back up that this movie was very focused and had one sort of central vision, was that it didn't pull its punches at all in terms of the bizarre. It wasn't afraid to show sort of the grotesque, but it also never felt like it was being unnecessarily gross or wacky. Everything seemed to serve its story. Anyway, I should probably talk about the story, right? So A Cure for Wellness follows this guy named Lockhart as he gets sent to this kind of spa, kind of hospital, kind of insane asylum type of place to retrieve this guy who is very important at the place that he works at, and he's supposed to bring him back to New York to deal with some business stuff. I don't know, I don't work in finance or something, but they need him. But of course, this being a movie, this simple task soon proves to be difficult. And you know, as he tries to find the guy and bring him back and everything, he accidentally just kind of delves deeper and deeper into the mysteries of this fucked up place. And speaking of this fucked up place, I just have to say that the setting of this movie is awesome. You know, it has that very creepy kind of look to it, which really suits it, but it's also got this kind of prettiness to it as well. So something else that this movie does like a fantastic job of is being inventive in terms of very creepy and horror-based sort of tripped out sequences. And there are lots of really cool and kind of creative scenes which involve the kind of supernatural, kind of dream-based stuff like that. And to back up scenes like this, I just have to say that this movie was shot fucking beautifully. And this was achieved through this gorgeous but disturbing imagery and cinematography that I honestly found breathtaking. But you know what? This movie wasn't just style, it had a whole lot of substance as well. You know, there were some really deep and rich sort of themes throughout the entire thing, and I don't quite know the meanings of like every single thing quite yet. Maybe I have to watch it again or just think about it more, read up on it. But I love that. It doesn't explain like every single thing to you, and in that way it reminded me a lot of Nocturnal Animals. And in fact, that being said, I pretty much thought that this movie was like a mix between Nocturnal Animals and Shutter Island. Something else that I really liked about this movie was the protagonist. I felt like he really developed. I felt like there was some natural sort of emotions coming out of him. And to really make this effective, I just have to say that Dane DeHaan's performance behind it was fantastic. I haven't seen too many movies with this guy, but everything that I have seen, I really love him in, and I want to see more of him. And this being a horror sort of movie, I should probably get to talking about the scary moments. And with that, I just have to say that there were minimal jump scares, and I appreciate the hell out of that. Instead, the movie raised tension with patience, but not out of like arrogance. No, it never felt like it was cheap. It didn't feel like the movie's aim was to be scary. More so, the aim was definitely to tell the story, but it just happened to be a creepy kind of story. And relevant to all of this kind of creepiness, I just have to talk about the score. It really amped up that mysterious and uncanny kind of feeling to perfection. Something else that was done to perfection was the pacing. Now, I've heard a few complaints when it comes to this movie saying that it's a bit long and that it's really unnecessary to be as long as it is. But you know what? Personally, I actually love the length. I was more than happy to live in this world for more than 2 hours. Rather than getting in and getting out, the movie really took its time. And I think it was all the more better for it. So the one complaint for this movie, I pretty much only have one complaint, is that there was some CGI which was just a little bit out of place. It took me out of the scene just for a second. I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, couldn't they have done that a little bit differently? But I didn't really mind too much. I'm the kind of person that can overlook like that tiny sort of thing. And I was right back into the movie after like just a second. Anyway, Cure for Wellness is very disturbing and at times even a little bit upsetting. It contains some strong imagery throughout, but honestly, overall, this was a very pretty looking movie. A Cure for Wellness certainly isn't for everyone. It's quite an acquired taste, but you know, if it matches your taste, well, I think that there is a whole lot to appreciate here. I would rate A Cure for Wellness a 9 out of 10. So speaking of my rating and everything, I also just wanted to mention that this movie is underrated as fuck. It has a 6.6 on IMDb and a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. And seriously, that's astounding to me. I think that's insanely low. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, let me know what you thought about the movie if you've seen it, because I know that it's been out for a while in America and all that stuff. Let me know if you hated it, because I feel like a lot of people will hate this movie because it is a bit out there, it is a bit weird. Anyway, stop watching my review, it's over. Go see the movie if you haven't seen it. That's all.